I love that song. I love that song. I sing it when I go to bed every night. Actually,
Wait,
Carlaw Park. I love it. I love it. Well, I'll tell you what I'm pretty excited about today. To be fair, Troy.
Mate, I'm wrapped, and he's already on the screen. That's how keen I am.
Hey, you're supposed to wait till I do the intro.
Go on then.
Yeah, I was gonna say when we first got together, we were talking about having guests on the potty.
Mm-hmm.
What did we both come up with?
Dane O'Hara, first man out of the gate.
Dane O'Hara. Okay,
yeah,
so let me do the intro. So he was originally from Bay Roskill Vikings, correct?
Correct.
And then ended
up. Hang on. Stat man. There's no Bay Roskill Vikings. There was Blockhouse Bay Cougars.
Correct, Blockhouse Bay Cougars.
Okay.
Blockhouse Bay Cougars. Yeah.
So this is what we're going to do today.
Yeah. Blockhouse Bay.
Yeah. So then to the Glenora Bears, which you had a marvelous career there. 1981 Super League in the UK. Was it the Super League then? It wasn't.
No, it wasn't Super League.
No, it wasn't. So, but 271 games for Hull FC, scoring 116 tries.
Yeah.
Leaving Hull to 1990 to join Doncaster, but you had a few injuries, I think, there as well, didn't you?
Injury,
yeah. 1976 to 1980, played 6 times for Auckland and wore the black and white of the New Zealand Kiwis as the flying winger. 36 occasions, 15 tries, and I remember some of those, some bloody wonderful, wonderful tries. He is, of course, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Dane O'Hara. Just about when you were playing for Glenora, I was playing for Manukau, we played at Harold Moody, and I was on the wing, and I went down the wing, dashing down the wing. I was on the left wing, and I basically beat the defence, but you were coming across, and I put my arms up to pass the ball back inside to Ian Bell, and you fucking hit me in the side and broke 2 of my ribs. And, so I got my ribs broken by Dane O'Hara. That's my claim to fame. So welcome, Dano. I mean, if we can start off, going right back to your early days, what do you remember back then, for Blockhouse Bay Cougars and for Glenora Bears?
Well, mate, it was a long time ago, but a friend that I went to school and college with, he called me up and said, "Hey, Dane, how about coming and playing rugby league for Blockhouse Bay?" I said, "Nah, mate, I was not interested." I won't swear on here.
Of course you can. So how old were you then?
I was 18.
18, okay.
Yeah, so I was 18, and he goes, "Oh shit, we have a party every night, every Saturday night, or we have a social at the club." I says, "That sounds good." I says, "You got plenty of birds there?" He goes, "Hell yeah."
Oh, by the way, we play a bit of footy.
So I thought, well, socially, yes, it sounds good. So I started playing, of course. We had a team that was made up of just random people that we invited to join the team, and we got beat most games of the first season. Then the second season we started getting better, and our team was getting better. We were getting rid of some of the dregs and getting in better players. Until 4 years later, we were winning most of the games.
Well.
But I was 18, and I got selected to play for Auckland under 23s on a tour of Australia. So went over there, and we played, and I had a good tour. And I came back, and then I had Mung Emery from Ponsonby Maritime call me up and say, "Hey, Dane, do you want to come down and play for Ponsonby Maritime?" I says, "Yeah, sure." So
that's where the money was too, wasn't it?
Maritime,
well, the Wharfies.
The Wharfies, the Wharfies, yeah. So he said, "We'll give you $750.
Man, that must mean a lot of money.
He said, "We'll give you $750 and we'll give you a job on the wharf." And I said, "Oh, mate, that sounds really good." I said, "But I've got a good job." I said, "And yeah." I says, "The money's fine." I says, so I started training with the guys, and we did the pre-season, and then I was going to go down and sign up with them on the Monday night down at the Schooner Tavern down where it gets worse. And on the Sunday, Ian McNee from Glenora phoned me up. "Oh, Dane, what are you doing this season?" I says, "Oh, I'm catching up with Mung Emery tomorrow night. Going to sign up with the Ponsonby Maritime." He said, "Oh, hang on, what are you doing now?" I says, "I'm at home." He says, "Come down, we want to have a talk to you." So, Des Hoffman and Ian McNee. Des Hoffman was the chairman, and Ian McNee, they were running the club. So I went down there, and they're showing me around the club, and we've got Joe Karam coming to play for us from the All Blacks. He's coming to play this season, and it's going to be great, and all this. And he went over all the Kiwis and everything that were playing for Glenora. I said, well, it doesn't mean much to me, mate. I said, they've offered me $750. I said, he goes, we'll give you $1,000. I says, done. So I shook his hand. And he said, you need to sign anything? I says, you've shook my hand. I says, it's done. I says, that's a deal. So I played for Glenora, and I didn't look back. It was a great team. Norm Stevens was the coach there.
Norm Stevens, yes. Sorry, mate, can I just go back? Because you said you ended up playing some good footy at Blockhouse Bay Cougars.
Yeah.
The coach there, you must have had a good coach. Can you remember the coach you had there?
Oh, we had 3 or 4 coaches.
Okay. Oh, so you're pretty well much coaching yourself by the sounds of it.
Yeah, you know, like those who turned up for training.
Because you hadn't played league before.
No, I hadn't played league before.
Oh
no.
my gosh! Yeah,
What were you doing before league? Sorry, Gordy. What were you doing before league? Athletics? Or,
I was doing athletics. I was at the Lindale Athletic Club, and I had a couple of seasons there. Like I won the championship down there, and when I was 17, 18, and you know, won the decathlon that was there, and
right,
and that sort of thing. So that was good. And then George Vasey, guy I used to go to school with, one of my best mates, he enticed me to go to rugby league.
There you go.
There's a social aspect
Well,
side.
very, very
But
lucky.
I sort of adapted to the game.
Thank you,
pretty well.
George.
yeah, and I think he adapted quite well to the social side of the game.
He's still adapting. Yes. Sorry, I interrupted you, mate. Yeah. So you're at Glenora.
Yes, I went to Glenora, and the first season there I got in the Auckland side. It was the Amco Cup series then, so it was a sudden death knockout. We'd fly to Aussie and play in the Amco Cup. Yeah. So I got in the Amco Cup the first year there, and a couple of games, and then we had New Zealand 13s. You know, there was Auckland playing the rest West Coast and the Central Districts and Northland and all that sort of stuff. So we competed in that as well. In the following season, 1977, it was a World Cup series, and I was playing for Auckland, and I got selected for the Kiwis, and played in that. And it was my first year with the Kiwis, and 86, 10 years later, was my last year with the Kiwis. I came back in 87.
You're getting way ahead.
Okay. Podcast over. Well done.
Okay, there goes all my prep.
Let's talk about the 77 Auckland Rugby League back-to-back. Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. See, Troy's taken over now. I've been gassed.
Okay, we were playing the test matches on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, as you know, Aussie, Great Britain, France, and ourselves, and the Auckland side would play on a Tuesday night. So the Kiwis, we beat France. We lost to Australia and Great Britain, but on the Tuesday nights, we beat Aussie, Great Britain, and France. Yes. You know, we beat them all.
Yeah,
and just showing the strength of the Auckland side and the following and the packed Carlaw Park diehards, mate. You know, I mean, you could hear the tackles from the grandstand. You know, you could hear because you're that close to the ground. It was quite phenomenal, and you could hear all of the comments and the shouts and the cheers. And
who's some of your teammates that are in there? You were sharing that with.
What was that?
Your teammates.
Fred Ah Kuoi.
Yeah.
You know, Lindsay Proctor.
I was going to say Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay Proctor. I think Murray Netzler. There's quite a few. I mean, Gary Kemble came in a little bit later, but it was good. It was good. It was a good rugby league, and the support we got from the fans down there was incredible. You know, that gave us 5 or 6 points head start just to have that crowd behind you.
Yeah.
So 77. It was a good start to my international career, and that 78 was a tour to with Ron Auckland. He was a tour. Oh, he was the coach in 77 as well. In 78, we went to Australia, Papua New Guinea.
Love those Papua New Guinea tours.
Was that one of the first tours to Papua New Guinea? Ben?
Yeah, I think it might have been actually.
I'm not sure if it was the first or not, but we went there. And,
bit of an eye opener, Dave.
It certainly was, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I was there in '94, and it was an eye opener.
Yeah, but you had electricity and would have had nice places to stay and sleep and not be billeted out.
Surrounded by barbed wire.
Yeah.
Well, there was a curfew because you weren't let out of the place because we're still quite primitive over there at that stage, and then '79, C.S. Mountford came in, and
C.S. Mountford, holy moly,
C.S. Mountford, and Billy Nesbitt.
Yes.
And so that was pretty good. 79, 80. We had a home series against Australia. I was captain of the Kiwis against the home series against Aussie.
Yes.
How did you feel when they told you you're captain, Tony?
Oh,
was that a big moment?
It was a big moment.
Yeah.
How were you told? How were you told that you were captain?
It came over as selection I heard it on the radio.
Just yeah. So you listened to the radio, and Dane O'Hara, Auckland, and captain.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Oh, you made me go all tingly.
And at times we would be teams would be named underneath Carlaw Park. In the chair room there.
Yeah.
But so.
Well, and all in that, of course, we get to 1981, and you get to go to Hull. So, I mean, how did that all come out? Hull FC?
Well, 80, we had the series against Australia here. It was about October or so. Then November, we flew to England and France. It was a tour of Great Britain and France. So North Sydney were offering me a deal to go and play for North.
Wow.
Mark Graham and Freddie Ah Kuoi went there, and they wanted me to go there. And I said, I'd wait till I'd come back from my tour of England and France before I made a decision. And on the tour in Great Britain, I was offered contracts by 3 clubs: Featherstone Rovers, Castleford. 4. Hull KR wanted me to go there, and so did Hull FC. And I remember the game we played against Hull FC. It was at Boothbury Park. It was a soccer ground because they expected such a huge crowd. They had at the soccer stadium, which held, 20,000 people, I think, at that stage. And it was a full house. And I scored a couple of tries in that game. And I remember the crowd being so vocal, and they sung, and they all in unison. It was just amazing, I mean, I was calling to James Leuluai, he was only 5 metres away from me, 4 or 5 metres, what we're going to do when the ball came up in the scrum, a move that we're going to do. And he couldn't hear me, I had to go and tap him on the shoulder. Man. It was that loud. And anyway, I remember the huge fanatical support that team had, Hull FC. And when I was offered a deal with them, there was no question about it. That was the club I wanted to go to. So bye to Aussie, and any deal was there, and I went to Hull FC.
So was Crayfish and the finisher James at the same time, or because I know Freddie joined you in '83, didn't he?
He came over at about '85.
Oh, '85.
Yeah.
Because he spent a bit of time at North, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to North. He spent 3 years with North. So we went there 81-82 season. And it was fantastic. I mean, we went to, we won the John Player Trophy, we won the Yorkshire Cup. We come second or third in the league, I think. We went to Wembley, we won the Challenge Cup. So that was
how good was Wembley?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm.
No, I'm good.
Like 96,000? No, more than that. 98,000, I think.
Well, they had them in. They opened it up because there was that many that still couldn't get in, and they opened up. They were able to go and sit inside the fence around the outside of the perimeter of the of the pitch.
Wow!
And it was over 100,000. They said 102. So.
What? Oh man!
But it was pretty good, and I was fortunate enough to score equalising try.
Yeah, that's right. It was to make it 14-all, I think it was.
14-all, correct.
Yeah.
And Samuel Lloyd, he's a great kicker. He kicks them from halfway and everything else. it was only about 10 metres to the side of the post, and he missed it.
Yeah, but he was the try was scored out wide because you chased. You never give up chasing, and
that
forced him out wide. Is that right? Or
no. Sammy Lloyd was our kicker,
Yeah.
and he missed the conversion when it was 40-all. So we had to have a replay.
Yeah.
But Stewart got an intercept.
That's right. Yeah, I read that.
Gary Kemble and Paul Prendeville were down the far corner going to attacking the line. They're only like 4 metres out from the line, and Stewart got an intercept, and he raced all the way down the sideline. And so I chased him across from the other side, I was a winger from the other side, so I came right across the field, and I kept him out wide. So he scored out wide, and they missed the conversion. So that contributed to it, I suppose.
Yeah. And then, of course, you won the replay.
And we won the replay, yes.
What was the score in the replay?
Oh, I can't recall.
I think it was convincing, wasn't it? It was.
You won by 12, 14 points or something.
Sorry, mate, just want to jump in here. So for all the fans, the playing week coming to that first, big occasion at a big park.
Yep.
What did you have to do? Can you remember the week getting back up to go back to do the replay? Was that pretty tough mentally?
It was. I missed the replay because I had strained my my hamstring, so I missed the replay, and it was quite. It was quite. I'd say stressful, but there was a lot of pressure on you. Not only that, coming to the end of the league season, if a game is postponed because of bad weather, like the grounds were frosted, a lot of grounds didn't have underground heating, so the frost came and it was like walking on concrete. And so a lot of games were postponed, but you still had to play them before a final date. So 22nd of April was the final date. So all your league games had to be completed by then. So we had 9 games to play in 21 days.
Tough, eh?
So
how big was your squad? What was your roster?
Well, we had about 23,
okay.
But we weren't training or practicing. All we'd go down to the club for was get a massage, or those that had injuries to get them seen to, and massage, have a sauna, have a spa, and then go and play the next game. So because we were playing that many games, we knew what was required of us.
Yeah.
And so we just played 9 games in 21 days. So, and I think we came second or third. But you had to catch up with all these games.
Yeah.
And of course, you had the Premiership final as well. Going in there, and the top 8 played off. I think the first year that we were there, RLFC played 46 games, and that was the first season. And I played 42 of them.
Wow!
So it was pretty full on.
Something very special that I read up about you too, Dano, was you got a testimonial from the club, first overseas player to be bestowed that honour. I mean, that's just incredible. That's 1989-90 season, and they gave you a testimonial. How special was that for you?
Oh, mate, yes, it was a special moment. You have to have represented the club in 300 games. So I'd represented them in 300 games with playing with the Kiwis, and also those games. It was actually 279, I think it was there, but when Brian Smith came there back in, was it 88, 89 season, he made me captain of this side, and we had a young side. All the top players, Lee Crooks and Gary Schofield, and all these guys, the club had sold off. They're going through some hard times, so they'd sold off all the top players. And
you took a pay cut.
I took a pay cut. Stayed there. Correct.
Everybody else was selling themselves off. He takes the pay cut.
Yeah. So anyway, took the young side through, and they performed pretty well, and we finished middle of the table and that sort of stuff. It was a good season, and that the year after started off the same, and I was there at the helm, and coming back on the coach from one of the games, Brian Smith, who was the coach, he got up and said a joke, as is this banter and rivalry between the Aussies and the Kiwis.
Mm.
He got up and said a joke about the Kiwis. He said his joke was that no one found funny. He got up and says, "What's on Bondi Beach? Black and white rolling around in the shallows and the waves." And everyone looked puzzled and no idea. And he goes, "Oh, a seagull and a Maori fighting over a fish head." Well, I tell you what, so the guys all looked puzzled and that. So I got up. I thought, okay, we're going to play that game.
Yeah.
So I got up there and I said, "What's the similarity between a computer and an Aussie?" I said, "You got to punch information into both of them." So I started walking back to my seat because all the guys erupted on the coach. They were all laughing their heads off because I was at the front of the coach on the mic, you see. Anyway, I'm walking down and Brian Smith was scowling at me and I thought, oh, I've hit a nerve. Oh, I haven't finished yet. So I go back and he was quite racist, Brian Smith.
Yeah.
So I went back and I got on the mic again. I said, "What's the difference between an Aborigine and an Aussie?" And all the guys were looking, but they all knew that there's a bit of banter going on between me and Brian Smith, and no one knew. And I said, "Well, with the Aborigine, you only got to punch information in once." So they all erupted the whole thing. Well, the next week I was in the A team. I was in the reserve grade, and I stayed in the reserve grade all the way through that season. So,
oh my gosh!
So I took the young side there. We went through and won the league championship.
Yep.
And then the Challenge Cup came around, and we won the Challenge Cup at Oswald Stadium in Bradford North. Bradford's thing there. We won that, and I scored a hat trick in the Challenge Cup final that we played there.
Wow!
So all the media, of course, all the way through. I mean, they knew that the guy that had taken my place, that was playing, was nowhere near up to the standard that I had.
And now we know.
Anyway, so after that, with the media and the pressure the club put on him, I was back in the first side. So I played.
What was the relationship like then? A bit icy.
Oh, it's always frosty. Yeah, yeah.
Coach-wise, Brian Smith, he's a good coach.
Well, he's never won anything.
Don't hold back.
Never won anything. And Aussie is always a runner-up. Never won. Of course,
he came to the Warriors. He was at the Warriors for a while.
Did he win anything at the Warriors?
No.
Exactly.
Did having the opportunity of, I suppose, mentoring the younger players? Yep. Did you ever have a think or a thought around coaching? Was that anything that you ever entertained?
Yeah, I did think about coaching. Whilst I was in England, I said to the club, Hull FC club, the board of directors there, I said, you need somebody going in around the schools and getting them aware of rugby league. If I could go in there and take them during PE classes, and get them interested in the sport of rugby league, I said those that had potential would come through and filter into Hull FC, so only strengthen the Hull FC side. I said those that enjoy but don't have the aptitude to play, they'll be the spectators. So it's a win-win. I said you guys got them coming through the turnstiles or they're on the field. So the club trialled it, and it was very good. All the schools I dealt with, all the phys ed principals and that sort of stuff. Yeah. And I started going around all the schools and taking them for PE classes. I'd take all the lads, for PE, and we'd do rugby league. So the schools of rugby league, I teach them how the passing, the tackling, the passing, and all sorts, and we'd have games and that, and they all started loving it, and it was only good for the club. Wow. So I went around about four high schools and teaching them. So I did that for about 5 or 6 years. So.
Wow, yeah. And that was part of your players' contract.
So that was part of my players' contract. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So that was really good. So when I came back to New Zealand, it was the Pacific Cup Championship.
Yes.
And Cook Islands wanted me to, who was it? Fiji, sorry.
Oh, Fiji.
Fiji
Yeah,
wanted me to
Fiji.
coach the Fijian side.
Yes.
So we did that.
Yeah.
So I did that, and they did remarkably well for a side that played predominantly rugby union.
Yes.
Wow.
And so I took them and put a side together, and they did really well. We got to the semi-final, and after that, because it was all televised around the Pacific, I was invited to go to Fiji. President Rambuka wanted to see me, and the Minister of Sport.
A little carver bowl.
So I went over there. So yeah, had a little bit of carver.
Because that Pacific Cup was big, eh? That was,
Pacific Cup was
remember
big.
going
Yeah.
to those games. Did Tonga take that first one out, or they came pretty?
Yeah,
It was a Tonga Samoa
Samoa,
final
I
in
think.
Carlaw Park. It was a big game.
Because I think Graham Carden had Tonga, I think, but he had
Yeah.
It was marvellous football. It was marvellous football.
It was, really entertaining to watch,
Yeah.
And
look at them today, especially Samoa and Tonga.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that stage, it was a good deal. They offered me to go there for a year with possibly a 2-year contract. But I just come back from the UK with my family, my twin daughters.
Yes.
They were like 13, 14 years old, and they hadn't wanted to leave the UK.
Right.
They'd grown up there from being a year old. They'd grown up there. And we came back here, and so they just started school, just getting their feet, under the desk and meeting new friends and everything else, to try and uplift them and take them to Fiji for another year or two. Would have been too demanding. So
family first, good on you.
So I said, thanks very much for the offer, but I had to decline. And I thought, oh, well, if I was going to be coaching, perhaps it would be here in New Zealand. But there was only one professional club, and that was the Auckland Warriors, and that position was pretty much taken up. So I didn't pursue it any further.
Well, did anybody chase you at all?
No one chased me. No.
Oh, well, that's their loss. I just wanted to go back, if I could, Dano, to your Kiwi time, and you've already mentioned a couple of coaches there. Who was the most influential coach for you wearing that black and white jersey?
Well, say influential. Sis Mountford had a lot of strategy and for the whole team, and I think he sort of got things moving in the right direction with rugby league for players from different regions all coming together, and they all knew the different types of plays and movements that we had to do. And it was around about 1980, 81 that everything started to move in a good direction. 82, it was looking pretty good. And then Graham Lowe came in, and he was a great motivator. I take my hat off. He'd make you want to go out there and rip them apart. And he was a good motivator, and he had good structure as well. So they were both very good coaches.
You remember anything particular that Lowe used to say to motivate? Do you remember anything in particular? I mean, because I find Lowe is just an extraordinary gentleman anyway. Even when he's talking to you just a one-on-one outside of the football circles. But as you say, getting you to go out and want to just rip everybody apart. Well, what does he say?
Oh, mate, we would watch motivational movies sort of leading up the previous night and that sort of stuff. And so, where you come from, you're down there at the club on those wet, rainy nights, playing, practicing in the mud, carrying your bloody gear down there and that, and your family all going down to Carlaw Park to watch you play. Don't let them down. They're here to watch you. You've done the hard yards. Let's bloody finish it off. These guys are not going to stand in front of you. You're not going to let them take that title away from you, the bastards. And so you get worked up.
So of course there was the test that you lost the week prior, only just, and then a week later, you thumped Australia at Carlaw Park after Lowy
that's
took
right.
you down Queen Street.
Oh, well, the thing was, we should have won the second test. We had 2 tries disallowed.
Yes.
I scored a try.
Yeah, I was there.
I scored a try on the line, and the fullback kicked the ball. I touched down. He kicked the ball and went out. And our touch judge came up there and he put his flag up, and I said, "It's a try." And he goes, "Ball come out," But
Was he a New Zealand?
Yeah, who's the touch
He
judge?
was-
Name him, Dane.
he was a New Zealander that he touched judge, but I won't say, but
Yeah.
And then Promesy scored down the other end, and we had that disallowed, but anyway, that's
Remember that?
that's footy, mate. We had we were still ahead, and we were ahead with about 4 minutes. 2 minutes to go. We were still ahead.
Yes.
Even though we had 2 tries disallowed, we're still we're still ahead. What was it? We're about 3 or 4 points ahead at that stage.
Yeah.
2 minutes to go, and we had a scrum out about 20 metres out from our goal line, and the ball came out, and Olsen Filipino got the ball, and he ran to the defensive line, and he chipped it over, and Gary Chack caught the ball, stepped where Olsen was coming through, went through the hole that Olsen had left, and ran down to the terrace side and passed it to was it
Rebo.
Rebo?
John
Yeah,
Rebo.
John Rebo, who scored.
It was a forward pass too, just quietly.
and scored, and they needed the conversion, I think, to win.
Yeah.
And the bugger kicked it from the sideline.
Yeah.
Well, we were so deflated. Everybody, in that grandstand was quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
So the third test, we went out there.
Hang on. Before we go third
Yeah.
test, right? So, the grandstand, you could hear a pin drop.
Yep.
I was there. Probably not standing next to you, Gordy, in the flash seat, but I was there.
Hey, I was in the concrete terraces, mate.
And I remember walking out, and nobody was talking to me. Right?
It was bizarre.
Gutted, mate. We were ripped.
You guys are now coming off the field.
Yeah.
And you're walking into, the changing rooms underneath Carlaw Park.
Those flash changing rooms.
What's the vibe, man? Let's talk about that.
Oh, mate.
You
No
tell us.
one.
You're okay. You're okay.
Everyone was hugely deflated.
Yeah.
Like we just had the rug pulled out from under us,
Yeah.
So I think everyone just sat down, had their head in their hands.
Yeah. And that's what he used. That's what he used.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the third test, there was no way we were going to lose that.
What was it? Was it 18-0 or something?
Yeah.
18-0, we beat them, yeah.
That walk down Queen Street, because whatever, walk down Queen Street.
It was after the first
Everybody
test, yeah. So
Everybody just came out.
Yeah.
didn't
it was great, it was good motivation for the boys.
Yeah.
These are the people that we were representing.
they? Yeah. Well, it worked. It worked all right. When I look at, because I love watching those games, back in the 80s and early 90s. Comparative to today, the football's changed, hasn't it? Has it changed for the better or for the worse?
Well, some of the tackles that you have these days, I see the reasoning why you can't come in with the shoulder and hit someone's head or whatever and all this sort of stuff, but it's to the detriment of the game in quite a lot of respects. Back when I started playing at Carlaw Park for Glenora, I played 6 seasons with Glenora from 76 to 81. I mean, somebody runs through and you rushed across the field and you give him a head-eye tackle. I mean, your elbow, your forearm went across his chin and his feet came up off the ground. He landed on his back. That was a penalty.
Yeah.
That was a penalty.
Yeah.
These days, it's 6 months on the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
At least,
So, that's it. But the crowd loved it. They called it the Carlaw Park handshake.
Yes.
The stiff arm. But anyway, Yeah, I mean, I was always a crash tackler. You know, I always hit hard. I hit guys, well, you know yourself.
How many reps? How many reps?
But I always, that's how I tackle. I mean, that's how I tackle for Blockhouse Bay, you know, and I had a reputation throughout the whole league, you know, and same with Glenora, you know, that's how I tackled. And if I saw the ball was coming out from the scrum, they had got an overlap, and they had a free winger, I'd come in and spot the guy inside me. You know, I'd come in and crash tackle him. As he was receiving the ball, I'd hit him.
Yeah.
You know, and iron him out. And that's just how I played the game. I always played it hard, but I never used elbows. I was never penalised for anything dirty. I was never penalised for dirty play. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a hard game. It was physical. Yeah, there were some big hits, big tackles. Not just by myself, but most of the guys. That's how they played it. You know, that's how the game was. But yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of head injuries that are attributed to the knocks that you get in rugby league. But it is a physical game, and I'd say quite easily it's the hardest, most physical game in the world. You know, you look at the gridiron players in the States; they've got helmets and they've got shitloads of padding on their shoulders and everything else, whereas the league boys out there, they're just hitting their bones and their meat against bones and meat on the other side.
Yeah.
So it is a very physical game, and you're running for 80 minutes of the game, basically.
Yeah. And all you got to do is look back at the 2025 NRL Grand Final, which will go down in history as one of the best ever. I mean, you could not get a better advertisement for our game, and even in Australia, they've gazumped the AFL now for the most watched.
They did too.
Yeah. So from that perspective, it's a lot more open running, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot more open running in that respect, and it's good that they are looking after the health of players' brain.
Yes.
You know, so we're not sure if Alzheimer's and dementia is associated with head knocks and head clashes. But we're just sort of minimising the effects of concussion and things. So, yeah, it's good that they've keeping them down. But I think they've done that. I think it was about the mid-'80s that they were making sure that there was no high tackles. Yep. They started sending players off for high tackles. You know, Carlaw Park handshakes you got sent off for.
Yeah.
And so they did start introducing looking after people's health, you know, the headshots and that sort of thing. So yeah, that they had done that, and but trying to send people off, I think, for shoulder hits, I think is detrimental to the game because the guy's not sure whether you're going because the person running with the ball, if he drops down slightly to do a side step or something, and you've gone and you've lined him up to take his chest, and he squats down and your shoulder hits his head, well, they send you off, and it wasn't intentional. You know, there's nothing intentional about any of the hits that the boys are doing these days. You know, to harm the other person. You know, not aiming for his head, that is, but aiming for his body.
Yeah. Can I ask you, Dano, that our local footy at club level, let's say Fox Memorial level, have you had the opportunity to go and watch any of that footy, and what do you think of the standard of footy that's in our local game?
Yeah, there's some. You know, I've seen a few games. They are quite talented. Yeah, it's good. I don't see the amount of depth that there used to be, and it's quite sad. The first year that I went to Glenora in 1976, they had 30 teams in the club.
Yes.
And like the minors, they'd have two teams in the minors. The midgets, they'd have 2 or 3 teams in the midgets. All the way up, they had multiple sides. Yeah. You know, it was the biggest club in the whole of the country. You know, by far. And I don't know where all those kids have gone to. You know.
Yeah, no, that's actually a very, very good point because I'm sort of involved at my old club coaching an under-16, and they've only got one under-16, and I think an under-8s and an under-9s and an under-12s or something. Whereas, and as you're saying, is so correct, back in the day, there was 20 teams.
That's right, yeah.
You know, and so where are those kids going? I mean, I know basketball and football.
Futsal too, eh?
Yeah, you know, so is it because we play a tough game that parents are holding their kids back?
Maybe. They don't want their kids to get hurt, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, 5 and 6 year olds chasing the ball around, they're usually blanketed.
It's great.
It's great fun, I mean, I can't recall, seeing any small kids getting injured, Someone might have got hurt a little bit in a tackle and they get able to cry, but then they carry on running and they're fine. They're not injured. Yeah. There's just a little bit of sprigs or something that's hurt them, But
it's how we react when they get,
True.
Oh, get up.
Yeah. Walk it off.
Have a drink of water. You'll find. And what about the pathways that we're now creating for our Warriors? I think that and I'll mention Ortex here, since they've come in and the money that they've invested into the Warriors has enabled us to get all, SG Ball and the reserve grade. Look at the reserve grade for start off winning the comp this year, first time.
Yeah, well done, yeah.
So we're creating opportunities, pathways for our kids, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right, and we just need more support and just need support from parents, people that do like the game instead of sitting at home watching it on telly. Come down and watch it at Mount Smart.
Yeah. You like the way the Warriors play footy?
Oh, mate, yes. Yeah, you can't help but not like it,
Yeah, and I mean, they are going back to how we used to play. I mean, the Warriors were renowned for helter-skelter footy, and we're going back to that. But there's also a structure there that Webby's bringing into our game. But I was going to say about Mitch Barnett, I think he was one of the biggest losses that we had this season, along with Luke Metcalf. But I think Mitch Barnett was the biggest loss.
Yeah.
Enjoy the way he plays footy.
Oh, mate, yeah.
Uncompromising footy play.
That's right. That's a style that we used to sort of, played in our generation, and those are the guys that stood out. They were head and shoulders above the rest, and that's what made them special. That's what made those guys legends, and if he continues, he'll be a legend,
And the Pacifica boys that we've got coming through, raw-boned, Vika Haliasima, 19 years of age. He's got a huge career ahead of him. Still making mistakes, but he's a kid. So, I mean, we've got so many of them that are there that are coming through. We just need to harness them and bring them through slowly.
That's right. They need to be channeled and, I won't say educated, but shown the right paths and that sort of stuff. But the Polynesian community, they have some very talented players. They have speed and they have agility and they've got good reflexes. So it's really good for the game. Yeah,
talented footers. If you could make a change to the modern game, what would it be? If there's something that you could bring in or take out to the modern game, what would that be?
Oh, it's a hard one to really think about, actually. Well,
we can come back to that.
Yeah,
you ever think about that?
Come back to it.
So while you're thinking about that, you've already mentioned. So the biggest upset loss was at Carlaw Park. When you should have won that test,
and we should have won the series.
Should have won the series.
True.
Yeah.
What other test matches stand out for you, particularly at Carlaw Park?
Well, the highs and lows. It's always nice to beat Great Britain or France, and so of course it's icing on the cake was when you beat them from across the channel. You beat the Aussies. That's always good.
Yeah.
Winning over in England and France is pretty good.
Always tough.
It's always good stuff. When you're on their soil, it's their supporters. And you have a good win.
Yeah.
Win over there and. We played Great Britain, and that was
1980.
1980 was tour there. We drew the first Test match, and 12 all or 14 all. We drew the first Test match. The second Test match we won, so we couldn't lose the series. We were in the driving seat.
Yeah.
And buddy, look at me. They come back and they won the third Test, so it was a drawn series. So then we went to France. I think they won the first one and we won the second one, so it was a drawn series there as well.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that.
So, yeah, there's been highs and lows. I told you the biggest low was losing the series by them winning the second Test match at Carlaw in the last minute of the game. They kicked the conversion, and the full time siren went.
Yeah. No, so some wonderful, wonderful memories. So, what would you change be into the game? What would you bring in or take out in the modern game?
Crikeys. Well,
do we like the 6 again rule for a start off?
Well, the six is good. I mean, they tried 4, but 6 is a lot better. You can do more with the ball, and you can set up direction of play with 6. I mean, even if they tried 8 for a season,
wow,
to see how that went, give you more position, and then the handover. I mean, you take it back over, but it's how well your defensive line is and how well your attacking skills are as to how good a job your coach has done.
Yeah, and
of course, individual flair always comes into it. But I can't think of anything else to improve the game. But let's say bring back the piff.
I'm just sitting there looking over at Dano's shirt. Like, if anybody wants to get hold of some of this merchandise, get hold of Troy, drop him a message, and
don't be in a big hurry to do it. We've got new gear coming, so just stand by. We've got some really cool stuff.
You look pretty sharp in that.
Just you were talking about, one of the things that we would possibly change, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, the game's sped up. It's a lot more clinical. What are we running on the bench now?
Yeah,
12 interchanges. 10. Yeah. When we go back to the Carlaw Park games and the era and the time that you're talking about.
Yeah, 2 reserves.
2 reserves, and we're playing 80 minutes. No one's coming off. Yeah. Compound fracture, broken collarbone. Walk it off.
Yeah.
No. So what I was getting at was that at that moment in time, there's a fatigue piece that comes in. So you would pick a prop, and you knew you could beat him on the outside.
Exactly,
a different vibe to the game.
Yeah.
Where everybody's running at 100 miles an hour. And clinical, like fully pumped.
Yeah,
that was something that I did enjoy. When full contact.
Yeah,
I suppose in that time, that moment. Yeah.
So when did they change it to?
Well, I think Dane sort of alluded to in the 80s they started talking about the Carlaw Park code.
They say this every time they go like this. No ref would go, but this keep the shots down.
Yeah,
you hit them across the chest was fine, shoulders across the chest, and everything else was fine. But stop the head.
And then I think they went to 4 reserves, didn't they? You could name 4.
Yeah, then it became 4.
Yeah. And then I think they started to name, for memory, you could name 17 or 19, but you'd only play the 4 on rotation or something. And then over a period of time, we ended up with what we have now. And look, and I get it. They have a bigger roster and everyone gets to play, but it's just a different setup because players were tough. They were a different type of tough.
Absolutely.
You have to have the endurance, the endurance of physicality, as well as the stamina to go that distance, at pace,
Can you remember the very first time you went to Carlaw Park? Like, were you a spectator? Were you a player? Can you remember the first time I got to the mighty Coliseum?
Oh yeah, mate. I remember going down and remember going there and watching some friends of mine says, "Oh, we're going down to Carlaw Park." I said, "Oh, we're going down to watch the game." This was before I started playing.
Yeah. So you didn't know it was rugby league at the time, right?
Well, I knew rugby league, but anyway, I was probably about 16, 17, so I went down there with some friends and Roger Bailey was playing for Ponsonby Ponies,
Right. Okay. So Ponies was the first game.
Ponies was the first game I saw, and Roger Bailey and watching him out in the centres, throwing the ball around, and he was like a maestro. He was like a conductor. He was conducting play this way and that way. It was quite interesting to watch him. So,
and of course Jack Fagan was with Roger Bailey too, and we were actually in the Jack Fagan room
Yeah.
New Zealand.
And John
rugby league.
Sullivan was a wing outside him.
Yes.
He put him in for a couple of tries when I was watching. Just a fantastic pass he'd give from halfway inside from the middle of the pitch right out to him, and he'd just run and score it. He was quite a maestro.
Just amazing.
But,
we send out our best thoughts to Roger Bailey as well.
Absolutely. Much love to
Wellington
Roger
now with his lovely wife Louise. So, all the best to Roger down there. Can I ask you, Dane, if you had to thank anybody for your career, one or two or 10 people, it doesn't matter. Is there anybody in particular that you'd like to say thank you so much for allowing me to play the greatest game of all?
Probably Ian McNee for getting me over to play for Glenora. That's where it all started, And it sort of put me on the stage, the world stage.
Yep.
Prior to that, I was playing at Blockhouse Bay Cougars, and I did make the Auckland side. I was 18. It was Auckland under 23s. I was 18, and I made that side. So at least somebody had noticed me, But from there, that was the.
Did you know at that point, though, Dane, that this was the game? That this was you?
Oh, at that stage,
when you had under 23 years?
I knew
Who were the boys in the squad with you then? Who would have been a few of the characters at that point in time?
Oh, I think Johnny Wright was in there as well. He played for Otahu and that, And it was hard. I should have looked at the team photos.
It's turning the clock back up. Yeah.
What about family? I mean, look at Stacey, for instance. She's a legend, in the touch circles as well.
Yeah, my sister Stacey.
I
got to jump in here. All right, I got to jump in here. So big shout out to Stacey. I hope you're well. So you got me a Hull jersey. Stacey's in it. I'll bring that photo up during the podcast, going out. And we had a team photo, and she was wearing the jersey in that shot.
Oh, awesome.
So that goes back, I don't know how far we can go back now, whether we can count that far back. But it was probably the first or second year of touch football.
Oh, yeah.
And she played for we were TNT, sponsored by Ortex, and then became Foster's. And we were probably in that side for about 4 or 5 years. She made the Auckland team for that, made New Zealand side too.
She's wonderful.
Yeah, well, she's played for New Zealand. She played about 12 years in a row. Anyway, last year she just gone now. She played in the Masters. She played for New Zealand again. So she's
awesome.
still playing for New Zealand touch.
Yeah.
And my darling sister, she's 60.
Wow.
So and she's still playing for New Zealand in touch football. And she also represented New Zealand in soccer.
Yeah, she did. Yep.
So
she came with a girl, Wendy, one of her good mates, who came and played in the side as well. And I think Wendy went on to may have played for New Zealand touch. Maybe your girl know her. But and you all look athletic. Like you all look like $1 million. You got changed out here earlier today, and he looks like he could put speeds on now.
I don't want to bring that
up. So my sister, she represented New Zealand in 2 sports. I represented New Zealand in 3 sports. So
what's the 3?
Well, before I started playing rugby league, I in athletics, I did judo from the age of 10.
Right, of course.
So
I knew that.
I won 10 Auckland championships in different weight categories and 2 runners-up. I went down to the Nationals and came away with a medal from down there as well.
So judo would have helped you with your rugby league?
Yes, the judo, gives you balance and everything else. So and I represented, went to Aussie with New Zealand team to represent New Zealand in judo. So I did that. I was the age of 15 then.
Yep.
I came back and then I started playing league late teens and early 20s. And so I represented New Zealand. So after I came back from the UK, I started playing touch football. I was playing in about 4 modules. All my friends were going, Dane, come and play for us. Come and play for us. Oh, we're down at Mount Albert. Oh, come and play for us down at Avondale Racecourse. Come here, play up at Massey. And so I was playing all these different modules.
Paid?
Yeah, they'd shout me a couple of beers afterwards. That was a minimal payment. But then I got, chosen. I think it was 1997. The world competition over on the Gold Coast.
Well,
of Australia. So I represented New Zealand in the over 40s.
it's fantastic.
And went over there, so managed to represent New Zealand in the 3 sports. So feel quite privileged.
Absolutely.
We're probably going to be winding up pretty soon anyway.
Oh,
But,
you speak to yourself. We're going to stay here all
yeah,
night.
you stay here all night. So, I mean, I would like to ask you, any passing thoughts that you'd like to share with us, that for you personally, not just about the game, but you personally?
Yes. Most important thing is that you look after yourself. No one's going to look after you personally, but your own mind. You got to choose what you eat. You got to choose how much exercise you do. After the age of 40, a lot of people sit back, relax, have a few beers, have a few more, and don't take as much present company excused.
Just because somebody's talking about us, I believe. Yeah.
But you do need to look after yourself. I mean,
Absolutely.
if I just give you one example, after the age of 50, walking up and down a hill, walking up and down stairs, you might find your legs are getting tired. You start losing your balance, trying to stand on one leg, that sort of thing. So what you got to do is just do a few little squats. Just do a few little squats that you do on a regular basis, say every second day or, at least twice a week or 3 times a week. Just doing that will improve your core strength, will improve your leg strength, and it gives you mobility, and it will give you mobility and independence way into your later life. That's what you need, because I see so many people that are my age that are bent over, they can't, and struggling to walk and everything else. And if you just look after yourself, it's the most precious thing, the most expensive item that you can ever own in your whole life. I don't care if you're a millionaire or whatever. You got the biggest, flashiest house in the suburb. Your body is the most important thing you'll ever own. So take care of it. Look after it. Look after it like you look after your car. Some people don't look after their cars, and you see all the rust spots coming through, and they're not good oil, and they're blowing smoke out, and the motor's had it. So your body's the same as a car. Put good stuff into it. Look after it. Maintain it. It's the most precious thing you'll ever own.
Well, I think on that, holy heck.
Ready to go out and do an oil change?
Thank you, Dave. I think we'll copyright that. So if anybody wants to hear more about how to keep yourself fit and healthy from Dane O'Hara, it'll cost you $19.99. Send it through the text. But no, thank you for sharing that with us, mate. And I mean, it's very, very profound too, what you said, and I totally agree. I mean, I'm coming up 69 this year, and one of the things that I try to make sure that I keep active as well.
Thanks for the comments prior to that. You said you saw me with my shirt off. So,
Yeah. We actually should rip the shirt off now just for the viewers, because, I'll post up one of the photos just recently you'd sent before you'd put on one of the jerseys, I think. Might be last season before last. And because AI's become a thing now, right? Everyone's talking about AI, and the conversation was, that's AI. And I've gone back and I've told them, mate, this guy could put his boots on tomorrow, and I don't know what level they play Masters, but you'd be on that team too, mate. I mean, you're in pretty good nick.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. Yeah.
Well, I've enjoyed that. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thanks, Goody. It's been a pleasure being here with you and Troy.
I really do value our friendship. So thank you so much for everything you've done for the game. You've created a marvellous legacy. So thank you so much for that. And you've inspired so many people, and you continue to do so. So thank you so much.
Thanks very much for those comments.
Carlaw Park, the spiritual home, where Kiwi League hearts found their throne. Legends were born, warriors made, on hallowed ground where history plays.